Hi, my friends. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an award-winning journalist. I went to one of the top journalism schools in the United States, the Medill School of Journalism at Northwestern University. I am a survivor of TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. I voted for Hillary in 2016. My main reason for voting for any Democrat was because I opposed the lies and that led to the attack on Iraq, Saddam Hussein and Baghdad in 2003, shock and awe. But I always saw myself as independent. I am a TDS survivor, Trump Derangement Syndrome. So it can be done. Now, I have major news for you guys. Please, hi, my friends. For those of you who don't know me, my main reason for voting for any Democrat was because I opposed the lies and that led to the attack on Iraq, Saddam Hussein and Baghdad in 2003, shock and awe. But I always saw myself as independent. I am a TDS survivor, Trump Derangement Syndrome. So it can be done. Now, I have major news for you guys. Please let me know in the comments if you've already heard of this. Okay. So, at first I thought it was some, like what they call a cloud attack now. This is cyber news. But no, it seems that it's actually an internal error that happened on the part of CrowdStrike, which is a pretty big cybersecurity firm owned by a Ukrainian American. And CrowdStrike was in the news in 2016 for being a consultant to the DNC and for determining that Russia had hacked and stolen their emails. The same, CrowdStrike. If you want to read background on them, I think it was in Vanity Fair or The Atlantic that they did a profile on Dmitry something, the head of CrowdStrike. He was fairly young at the time. Okay, so I've read like a mainstream media article, which basically called it a CrowdStrike bug, right? Let me just tell you why you should care. All flights are grounded right now across the entire globe. And the report I read says that broadcast channels are affected. Anything that uses a Microsoft Windows server. And guess what they're saying? I forget which article it was in, because CrowdStrike is trying to spin this also. That was the mainstream media one saying, oh, a bug at CrowdStrike, right? I don't think CrowdStrike wants this publicity, to be honest, since they're the ones who determined that Russia affected the 2016 election by hacking the DNC servers and then sharing the emails to WikiLeaks, right? I always wondered, though, since the information was true and accurate, why that meant interfering. The only interference I've seen that I think it involves information and it's very bad is when the information is true, but you're saying it's not. That's why whataboutism is just fine, as long as you're being diligent in your analysis, your truthful analysis. So I don't think CrowdStrike wants this responsibility, but okay, so a driver from CrowdStrike was faulty, and they called it like a single code or single content bug. So like literally one driver has caused this havoc across the entire world now. Please comment if you're being affected by this, or you know someone who's being affected by it, and I'd love to hear some information. Or comment if you saw it on the news. I am thinking this is really not being put out on the news. They know they have to a little bit. Now there's industry blogs. It seems like Microsoft and CrowdStrike might be really at odds with each other right now, because Microsoft is getting blamed. And okay, and hold on one second, I have a tidbit. But Microsoft is being blamed, and of course, so is CrowdStrike. And CrowdStrike saying, oh, it was just an error, a bug. But then somebody I read, probably the mainstream one, went out of their way. No, I think it was the second one, the industry blog. It's called like Windows Insider or something. I'll try to post the links below. It said, now this wasn't an attack. So basically, if you say it's not an attack, then what is it? It's what they're actually calling it, a BDOS. I mean, BSOD. Do you know what a BSOD is? Anyone? I'm sorry, but it is funny. It's the blue screen of death. And they're putting it in regular, straight news articles. This BSOD event, a catastrophic event on all of Microsoft and their partners and customers. So, you know, for a long time, I think all of us have kind of been like, oh, gee, putting all of our information in one place, or, you know, multiple places where the data is stored or in the cloud, that's a great idea. You know, maybe I should print out my address book, right? I remember thinking that like 20 years ago. And I did, but I haven't printed it out in more than a decade. You might want to do that right now. I'm being serious. In this day and age when time is so short, it's really hard to kind of wrap your head around being proactive, but it can really help. If you want to save your memories, your info, everything like that, I would save it not in the cloud. I don't have any other advice. Please consult a software expert, preferably in cybersecurity, before taking any other measures, or find some sort of tutorial that will help you.